Okay, hi, good morning. I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm trying to figure out a better way to get more stability and not be on Wi-Fi, but to have a Ethernet connection. So I'm trying to figure out how to live stream through my computer on YouTube, but it wasn't working this morning. Um, So I apologize for being late. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to our second live stream. Yay! I hope you enjoyed last week, or if you had a chance to just watch the video, that you enjoyed it. So let's get to it. Hello, beloved ones. It is wonderful to be here with all of you today. Thank you so much for joining me. So I'm going to continue to talk about the events that are unfolding in your world today, in this extraordinary year of change in 2020. So for some of you that have been listening to me for many years, you may remember that a long time ago, at the beginning of this millennium, when everyone was very frightened about Y2K and the end of the world. But what I shared with all of you then is about the changes that were going to be present within your new millennium. And it had to do primarily with transparency. If you try to keep too many secrets about yourself, so much so that you create a facade or you wear a mask, you present one thing to others, to the world, but inside you feel very differently. Or you are very busy hiding your behaviors because you fear the loss of love and the loss of respect, the loss of the attention you feel you want or need. So there's a lot of different reasons as to why people hide. Right? Some of them tend to be more minor. Some tend to be very big reasons, big motivations, big ambitions, big wants. And for a long time, the way your world was set up, So much of that could remain hidden. But now, with your technologies that you have developed, the reason they have been developed and they were being developed uh, for a few decades before the turn of the millennium. And then once that happened, they were more frequently available to everyone in the public. Because what is vital right now is honesty and transparency. Because you cannot change something you don't know, right? You oftentimes maybe look back on your life with regret and say, oh, I wish if I'd only known, I could have changed, I could have done something about it. I could have done it different. What you don't know. And it is only what comes into your consciousness that you can change. Now, all change ultimately happens within. And that change then is reflected on the outside. In the way you interact in your relationships, your opinions, your beliefs, your behaviors, the actions you take, or the reactions you finally are able to stop taking. Change affects you individually and collectively. So in order for things to change now, when they need to change, you needed a vehicle for transparency. So right now you are in the midst of seeing with your own eyes, hearing with your own ears the extraordinary inequality that exists in your world. And it is not just in the United States, but it is everywhere. And the people that are the recipients of this extraordinary inequality, whether it is race, religion, sex, gender, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you are now a part of. It has moved to your consciousness. You can no longer escape into ignorance. You can no longer have the luxury of witnessing the extreme case when someone is murdered before your very eyes in a video. But now you are hearing all the stories of people of color, particularly African Americans, in this instance right now, early June of 2020, the transparency that you need is being provided for you to take you out of your apathy. Because now you are hearing stories about people who are afraid for their lives every moment. And when they are approached by law enforcement, what runs through their mind is not, I can't believe I got caught speeding, now I have to pay a ticket, and can I afford it? No, they are afraid for their lives. And for those inequality, you cannot know what that feels like. You do not live in that kind of fear. But there are people all over the world, for different reasons, that live in that fear. Here with African Americans, it is from law enforcement, it is from certain groups of people who believe that they are far superior. But in other countries, it is their neighbors because of their religious beliefs. In the home, it can be because of the person's sex. In a family dynamic or a work environment or a school environment, it can be the fear of one's life because of gender choices, gender identification. So what is being offered to all of you here is one of the greatest spiritual gifts. And that is the gift of consciousness. Because when you know, when you become conscious, when it moves into the realm of experience, now you can make different choices. Now you can start asking more questions to expand your consciousness. What don't you know about this inequality, and how can you educate yourself? How can you grow in your wisdom? And how can you serve? So that is always the progression of spiritual enlightenment, spiritual growth. You are open and willing to receive consciousness. And when consciousness is received, you are honest about receiving that consciousness. You choose to no longer turn away in denial. You are honest about it, and you are honest enough to recognize that you don't know how other people might be feeling. So you need to expand yourself and listen. Don't pretend to know what other people go through, because you don't. But you can listen. You can hold compassion. And you can take actions that reflect now your new life. Sometimes this process is fueled by anger, pain, suffering, hurt. Sometimes it is fueled by compassion and empathy and love. Most of the time it is fueled by all of that. So yes, anger and possibly violence might erupt, but ultimately, deep in themselves, even if they cannot articulate it, they recognize that true change comes from love, not fear. And this is why your protests that are happening around the world, some of them erupted in violence, but they are always the small number of people. The vast majority of people understand that if you want change individually and collectively, that change must come from love, compassion, listening, receiving other people's point of view, finding common ground. And moving forward together, united, rather than divided. Will there always be a group, people who want division? Yes. That's part of shadow. That's part of being human. You cannot escape that. Try not to judge. And ask today, what can you do to create unity? What service can you provide? And start to meditate on how the pandemic and these consciousness of inequality, how they are similar. When I told you at the beginning of this year that this was a power year, an intense year of manifestation, you're all living it. I know that it is impossible to think this is all good. You are going to see the pain, the negativity. But remember that these people are giving their lives, not just through the virus, but through the violence and the inequality. These people are giving their lives so that you can wake up, so that you can have more consciousness, so that you can be of service. This is the call, beloved ones. Not just to a few. It's not us and them. It is we. You, all of you, are being called to a higher level of consciousness, a higher vibration of love. And when you feel that call and you allow that vibration, that consciousness to rise within you, you must then be of service. And don't worry if you just start being of service and you find, this doesn't fit me, I'm going to try something else. Stop waiting to serve and keep asking, well, I don't know what to do. What can I do? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I can't do anything. Just reach out. You have the entire world at your fingertips through the internet. Increase your knowledge. Listen actively. And just do simple things. Go out in the streets to demonstrate. Make your voice heard with love and compassion. Give money if you can. Give of your time. There are so many ways to be of service, and each one, beloved ones, will help you deeply. This is a time of coming together. Less feeding your wants and nurturing your needs. and what you need in unity. There are many ways to come to unity. Don't be set in thinking you know the exact way. Be open to learn, to grow, to love, and to connect. And I promise you, you all will begin to enact the change in your world that you need. You're already doing it. Don't sit this one out, beloved ones, because this is about your enlightenment, your time to step in to the divine human experience. It is about you, but don't make it about you. Make it about those that are hurting, those that need you now. And I'll be with you every step of the way. I love you. Namaste. Whew. Wow. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Gosh, if you enjoyed this video, please like it. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. And absolutely leave me comments below. I do try to answer all of them. And I just love hearing from you. So thank you for being with us today. And I hope you can join us next week. Take care and have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.